I'm so glad that you're so noisy. I want you to be really noisy tonight. And I'm gonna start by taking a picture. I'm gonna start by taking a picture of you, okay? So everyone smile, make a lot of noise. Welcome. I believe you can sit now. So welcome to the 2019 College of Architecture, Planning and Landscape Architecture Convocation. As we lovingly call it, CAPLA, Convocation Ceremony. So I know this is a moment that the graduates have been anticipating for many years, and I know many in this audience have also been anticipating. So we're here to celebrate all the faculty, all the staff, all the friends, all the supporters are here today, and we're celebrating the tenacity, the creativity and passion of these people that we have here. My name is Nancy Pollock-Elwand. I'm the Dean of CAPLA, and it is my great pleasure to get to know, it was during this period, to get to know these students. Now, as a Dean, I sit in my office and I get to look out into the atrium, and some of the people I do know, I came to know, and it was my great pleasure to do that. But mostly, I know these people through the presentations that they've made, the ideas that they've discussed, the terrific innovative designs and planning ideas that they've brought forward, their models, their drawings and posters. And I can also say, I can happily report as a dean that I've never had any one of these students in my office for doing something naughty. Not one. They're a remarkable group of people, and I know you know that. They're an impressive group of graduates. They are going to be dealing with the well-being of our built environment, and we're going to be passing it to their hands in the coming years. It's a very big responsibility. Just to name a few things, these people that are graduating tonight are providing, or will be providing, walkable communities, and as we age, all of us, we're going to appreciate that for our health. They're going to be creating energy efficient houses, and that's very important. Not only houses, the places that we work, the cities that we design. They're going to be conserving our scarce water supplies, and that's so important in this part of the world that we live. They're going to be encouraging vibrant downtowns, and look what is happening now to Tucson. And they're going to bring poetry and grace to the places that we live and work. And I can tell you confidently that we are in good hands. Theirs has been a journey that has been assisted by both faculty and staff of CAPLA, and this is a magnificent group of educators and supporters, both faculty and staff, that have advised, they've given guidance, they've provoked, they've challenged, and they've nurtured these people. So I want to acknowledge these great members of CAPLA who have helped these graduates complete this chapter of their lives. And if I ask the faculty and staff to please rise. And I'd like to acknowledge they really are an amazing group of people. There's another acknowledgement, and a very important one that we're going to do tonight, and that's the family and friends and little children who have supported our graduates. We know you have provided incredible support to our students through their studies. So on behalf of the CAPLA faculty and staff, I would like to thank you sincerely for being there and caring and loving our students. Now, at this moment, I would like to turn to the students. So you have an opportunity now to express your gratitude to these extraordinary people, your family and friends. May I ask for the lights in the auditorium to go up? There we go. So now you can see them. Can you please stand? Can I ask you to stand? All the graduates? Can you point at them? And I was going to say, make as much noise as you can, graduates. It's your time to express your gratitude. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have a few housekeeping pieces. Now I'm going to start with this first one. Now undoubtedly, and I'm sure it's already started, there will be some tears today. So in anticipation of that, we have a very, very big box of tissue for you. And I think also for the graduates, here it is for you. And it's anticipation of joyous tears, and that includes me. Secondarily, you will notice that the students will cross the stage tonight, and they will have their names projected in the back, and those who have received awards will be listed on the screen. And third, we have a photographer. If our photographer could stand. There we are. Yay! Our photographer will be taking photos of the ceremony, and then we'll take, for each graduate, the graduate will stop and have a photograph with both myself and the director of their program. And then we will be communicating to you via email in the coming days. And we know that all of these graduates really like getting emails from us. So we've heard, we've had a lot of feedback on that, but one more time, look for that email to your email.arizona.edu to that address, and there you will have the method to get the photos from tonight. Fourth, additionally, should you care to come down and take your own photographs, we have left space here in the front for you, and we've reserved that area. Please, in anticipation, alphabetically, the students will be coming, the graduates will be coming, and get your spot, take your photograph, and then if you could go back to your seat so the next group of family and friends can come forward for the photograph. So, with no further ado, I introduce to you our keynote speaker for the evening, the founder and current executive director of Living Streets Alliance, Emily Yetman. Thank you, graduates. And I'll just make a short introduction here. So, originally from Prescott, Arizona, Emily came to Tucson. There! In 1999, where she first earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts and then her Master of Landscape Architecture degree, both from the University of Arizona. Her master's studies focused on bicycle network design and integration, which led to her passion and then the establishment of Living Streets Alliance. The Alliance is a nonprofit organization that works to cultivate a robust transportation network and vibrant street life in the Tucson region in order to provide a voice for sustainable, healthy, and equitable transportation options and neighborhood-level planning and decision-making. Emily?
That was a lot of wonk speak, wasn't it? I'm really excited by the energy in the room tonight. It's really, I felt like you guys were cheering for me, and I'm like, I'm not even graduating tonight. So I'm really honored and humbled to be able to be up here and speak to you all on such an important day. When I was invited to come speak, I definitely had that moment of being like, really me, because I always think of this as being something that like grown-ups do, the people who have the answers and who know how to do this sort of thing. And I don't. In fact, I've obsessed over what to say for weeks, because this is clearly a really important night for you all. When they asked me, I was like, Emily, no, don't say yes, don't do it. And they're like, no, 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 yes. And that's the overachiever that I'm sure none of you architecture students can relate to. You know them. Anyways, Nancy mentioned a couple of our accomplishments over the past couple years. And there are things that sound impressive, but the truth of the matter is that it was never that straightforward for me. It was always way more of stumbling and fumbling and being willing to try, to learn, to ask for help a lot, and asking people to take a leap of faith with me. You see, that same compulsion to say yes to being here tonight was what led me to down the path of starting Living Streets Alliance. After I finished graduate school, I was looking around and was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I've got the answers to change the world. And I looked around and I realized that the work that I wanted to do didn't exist here yet. And the irony was that what I was seeing all around me was support for a city that was more people-friendly, right? Where kids and families could ride their bikes together, where seniors could age in place and stay connected, neighborhoods could be connected to one another. And there were so many people that were excited about this vision, but their voices were totally isolated. I'll be honest, I wanted to be designing plazas and greenways and bicycle networks, but instead I saw a need and an opportunity to create a way for those voices to come together for change. And I had this moment of thinking, like, wow, somebody should really do that. Somebody really needs to do that. And then realizing, oh, like, if I don't do it, nobody's going to. I'm guessing that many of you are not familiar with Living Streets Alliance. Maybe some of you are. So I'll share just a bit. Essentially, we want Tucson to thrive. And the way we work towards that is by focusing on streets as public space and working to make them great for everyone, no matter who they are or how they get around. We work with people to envision the future that they want, and then to demonstrate and experience what that can look and feel like, and then we advocate with them for their vision. A couple of years ago, we were fortunate to do a series of intersection murals in a neighborhood where we've been doing work through our Safe Routes to School program. Pueblo Gardens, it's a mostly Mexican-American neighborhood near 36th Street and Country Club, in a pretty forgotten and isolated part of town. And the school there is literally the heart of the neighborhood. And most of the students walk to school because it's close. So we've done safety assessments around the school, and we had these great engineering recommendations ready to go for how to make biking and walking safer for these families that were coming and going from school. But the reality was that those improvements weren't probably ever going to be built because there was no funding for them yet, right? So instead we had to think of creative ways to draw attention to some of those safety issues, thinking about how we could ensure that people driving would see people, especially little people, using the crosswalks. So we worked with students, we came up with some really great mural designs and had a block painting party with the whole neighborhood. And it took all day, but hundreds of families came out and spent literally all day on their hands and knees transforming sidewalks, crosswalks, and painting these beautiful murals in the streets. At one point during the day, a coworker and I were kind of standing, oh, I love kids in the audience. We were standing off to the side, kind of watching everything that was going on, and we noticed this woman come out of her house down the block. And, you know, she was kind of quietly sizing up everything. You could tell she was curious, but, you know, cautious. And so we went over to talk to her, and we're kind of surprised by what she ended up saying. And she, still can't believe it. So she thought that it was the city of Tucson out there doing that work that day. And she said to us, "It's so good to finally see them doing something for us. It's nice to see that they care." And that may sound insignificant, but think about it for a minute. Pueblo Gardens is an underserved, disinvested area of our city. And once you start peeling away the layers, you realize how potentially significant that simple conversation was. What that woman's comments revealed to me was just how used to the status quo she and her neighbors had become. That long ago they had accepted that nobody cared, right? And so they gave up on expecting and asking for anything more. You can see how easy it would be for someone in her position to have no faith in government or public process, so why bother participating? I'll never know for sure if that project led to bigger changes in her life, but I like to think that that one moment of her seeing and feeling a space that was being created for her sparked something. And maybe, just maybe, it's the thing that leads to her re-engaging. Maybe she starts helping out at the school or participating in Neighborhood Watch. Maybe it's the thing that gets her thinking, maybe it is worth it to vote. Just think of the snowball effect that that could have. The Pueblo Gardens project that I just mentioned was all about the people of that community coming together to reclaim their streets and to celebrate the strength and the resiliency of the people within it. And what I didn't mention is that that block party took place the Saturday right after the 2016 elections. And the principal of that school told me that day that he'd had kids coming to his office crying all week because they were afraid they were going to be deported. Within the deep trauma of that week, that block party became a place of healing. And the streetscape that came out of it was the physical manifestation of that community's desire to be and to stay together. And all it really took was pain. The reason I share this story with you all, I know you're like, where are you going? Is because if I could impart one thing to you, the biggest thing that I've learned and come to realize over the past 9 years is that, yes, the big wins are absolutely what everyone notices and remembers, but it's really the 1,000,001 small moments of the process to getting to those wins that are the real accomplishment. Yeah, I like you and whoever said that. Thank you. Really, those moments are what it's all about. Glimpses of hope and inspiration and empowerment where paradigm shift happens. And each of you here tonight have the power to bring people together, to help them re-engage in their communities in the ways that you create spaces and places. And we need that above else right now if we're going to tackle things like climate change, racism, social fragmentation. So my challenge and my hope for all of you is that in the next phase of your education, that you'll turn your energy into being the best social engineers and social architects that you can be. Because it's not about the buildings, right? It's about the lives within them. And it's not about the landscape or the park or the plaza. It's about the interactions, the joy, the connection that people feel when they're within them. And it's not about the city. It's about how loved and welcome people feel when they're there. That wasn't what I wrote. Places and spaces that tell people you are valued. These are your gifts to give. So I'll end by commending you all on a tremendous feat you're celebrating tonight, which is that you've developed and fine-tuned fantastic design thinking skills to utilize your brilliant brains. And your journey ahead is to cultivate a practice of integrating it with your intelligent hearts. And here's something to ponder. The best job you will ever have may not very well exist yet, because no one's conceived of it yet. Envision it, bring it to life. It won't be a linear path, but I promise you it will absolutely be worth it. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily, for that. And you said when you began, you are in fact changing the world. In particular, you are changing the world for Tucson, and we want to thank you for that. It is really extraordinary, a huge contribution to us. And I think the words that I take away from this is really the recommendation to these graduates that if I don't do it, then no one else will do it. And I think that's extremely important advice to keep in mind as you move forward. So thank you, Emily. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you 4 graduating students who have been asked to speak on behalf of each of the programs. And I'll introduce them all at one time, but they'll come up separately to give their remarks. So representing the architecture program is Amal Anui. John Choi from Landscape Architecture. I saw John coming. John, he was in the, there he is. He's very shy. Monica Landgrave Serrano from Planning. So, thank you. And Gabi Abu Zaid from Sustainable Built Environments. So, Amal, would you like to start?
Good evening, faculty, family, and friends. It is an honor to be here today to speak on behalf of my fellow classmates and reflect on the time spent here at CAPLA. Throughout architecture school, we learned a lot. Sleep is a crime, finishing a project early means you forgot something, and coming up with a convincing justification for your final project 15 minutes before you present can be a success. Evidently, this journey has been one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences, and would not be complete without my classmates, whom now I call my family. Over the past 5 years, CAPLA has been our home, a home where the lights never go out. We started off as doe-eyed freshmen, eager to begin drafting, building, and designing. Soon, we realized that instead of drawing, we'd spend most of our time dragging our drafting boards to and from CAPLA. The following year, Professor Trumbull introduced the block lofting project, where we had to levitate a block of wood on wooden dowels held by piano wires. This project not only taught us patience, but showed us that group work is essential to success in this field. In our 3rd year, Zach Peters decorated his beard with choyas during our trip to find our first site. That same year, we crowned Rachel as Queen of the CAPLA Catnap, an Instagram page dedicated to those who dared to sleep. But this year was also a pivotal year for all of us, as we learned that commitment, hard work, and drawing in detail would lead to momentous discoveries. Michael Kothke's inquisitive nature and passion for architecture taught me that drawing is the most powerful tool a designer could have. I also found out that Zhao Liang's calm and collected nature only hid his bravery. He's an exceptional example of challenging the way we approach design. The next year was the most stressful, and during this pivotal time, Elena Canovas offered continuous support and showed that she truly cared about our success. Ray Barnes taught us how to see through walls, not like superheroes, but like architects. With his guidance, we understood that architecture is not always about crisp lines and clean walls. Another key takeaway from 4th year was that printers always fail when you need them, something I had to learn the hard way. This 5-year journey has been filled with life lessons and memorable moments. I'll never forget when I realized that Zachariah and Nick's typing in the middle of the night at studio was actually them playing Apex rather than working on their capstone project. Or when Brock, Danny, and I would tactically steal Rachel's precious stash of Trader Joe's salted chocolate almonds. For the amount she buys, you'd think she'd be sponsored by now. And we always knew it was going to be a rough night if Tyler came to studio with 3 bags of trail mix. Our work led up to this final year, and the joy we felt at our final presentations was only briefly interrupted by Dan Hoffman's recurring question, "Where's Andrew?" I also can't believe it took snow in Tucson to convince us to leave Kapla. Now that we're actually leaving, I would like to thank the faculty. While you are sometimes responsible for our deprivation of sleep, your continuous mentorship throughout the years hasn't gone unnoticed. Your dedication, passion, and patience for this field is admirable, and we are grateful for your shared wisdom. To the families and friends, none of this would have been possible. The pride and joy you cherish today are minimal to the unconditional support you have given to us all. We can't thank you enough. And to the graduates, I would like to leave you with this. Find what scares you and take the risk to challenge yourself. Find your passion, be curious, and never stop learning. And lastly, be the change, let your voice be heard, and leave a mark on the world. Congratulations, class of 2019, we made it.
Good evening. My name is John Choi, and I am honored, as well as moderately intimidated, to be speaking with you tonight as a representative of the graduating Master of Landscape Architecture class. It's been a great opportunity to pursue graduate studies in landscape architecture. 3 years ago, I could not have foreseen what an impactful experience this would be, not just in strengthening my skills as a designer and for deepening my understanding of the field, but also for highlighting the extent of the privileges that surround and support me. There were certainly times when this was difficult to see. Long days, nights, and weekends in the studio, due dates on top of due dates, tight budgets, gaining weight, losing weight, going gray, and the biannual existential crisis. But now that my time here at the University of Arizona draws to a close and I step back to reflect, these challenges seem trivial in light of all that I've gained. Pursuing a graduate degree has been a great privilege. It's been a privilege to study here in the Sonoran Desert, a stunning and inspiring landscape whose richness and biodiversity constantly remind us of the gift of nature and its pressing need for protection and to be shared. It's been a privilege to come to Kapla and work alongside the faculty who gave us their time, expertise, and support in the interest of fostering our growth and challenging us to develop our own design ethos. It's been a privilege to learn with and from students who come from across the US and from Colombia, China, Mexico, Iran, Argentina, India, and beyond. And it's a privilege to have an ever-supportive family and group of friends. Without you, we could not have made it through what at times seemed like the longest and shortest years of our lives. And finally, our education and our degrees are a privilege. Landscape architecture is a field that teaches us to work at a range of scales, from local to regional, and to think beyond the boundaries of our site, understanding the broader implications of our work. As a side note, landscape architecture is not landscaping, and if you're looking for advice on your lawn, all I can tell you to do is to consider to get rid of it. It's a field grounded in both humanities and sciences that seeks to attain social, ecological, and aesthetic balance. It's a field that leads with a confident sense of humility through inter and cross-disciplinary collaborations in seeking a more just and equitable future. It's a field that makes room for everyone's voice, and with growing inclusivity, strategies to address complex social and environmental problems become more comprehensive and more sustainable. So with a sense of awareness and appreciation, let's go out and work together to impact the changes we want to see and share in the many advantages afforded us by privilege. Thank you, and go Cats.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Monica Landgrave Serrano, and I am a graduate from the Master of Science in Planning. I am sure event planning is an amazing profession. However, I regret to inform you all that the planners graduating tonight are not wedding and party organizers, though I am sure we can help you with that. The planners you have come to celebrate are focused on the development of the natural and the built environment. They believe in placemaking and community building. They know planning is a process that takes time and effort, and they are aware that this process is always best when it is inclusive and accessible to all kinds of people. I want to thank my fellow classmates for these 2 years together. It has been lovely to get to know you, to get angry with you over assignments, and to forget about it afterwards. Through the guidance of our amazing faculty, we have made it to the end. It is now our turn to go out there as agents of change, and I have no doubt that we will all do a great job. Thank you very much.
Okay, last one, you guys. My name is Gabriela Abuzad, and I am honored to be graduating from the Sustainable Built Environments program. This is a really bittersweet moment, but I'm really excited to no longer have to answer the question, wait, what is your degree in? And it's a tough question. Our coursework is highly interdisciplinary. It examines how we might adapt our built environment, so all of our human impacted surroundings, and the realities of pervasive inequity, rapid population growth, and climate change driven by human activity. My favorite classes viewed these issues through planning theory, transportation systems, and civic processes. Our program celebrates our diverse interests. My peers' senior capstone projects explored solutions ranging from education programs and food security to historic preservation and energy-efficient building materials. The connections I've made in this program really changed my life. I'll miss decompressing with Jenny after a heartbreaking geography lecture and deciphering planning theory with Georgia. One of my favorite moments each semester was leaving the advising office after my meeting with Sean, who always had the answer to all my questions, could figure out my schedule in a breeze, and left me feeling like I had my life together, if only for a moment. In September, I'll begin my graduate studies in civil engineering focused on sustainable transportation systems at Portland State University, where just a year ago I applied to an internship shared with me through the SBE program. I would not be here without the support of everyone in this room, professors, faculty and staff, my peers, friends, and family. I don't know how to even begin to express my gratitude to you all, but I do know that the reason that I want to continue my studies is because I want to contribute to research that helps keep the world a habitable place so we can continue to learn and grow and work with each other. At its root, the Sustainable Built Environments program is really about working with and for other people. And on the path towards transformative change, it seems to me that there's no better starting point than empathy, compassion, and human connection. Thank you.
I think we have to give another round of applause for Amal, John, Monica, and Gabrielle. I mean, that's why we come to work every day, isn't it? Really remarkable people. So tonight we have the opportunity to recognize two individuals with special importance to CAPLA. The first is Ron Stoltz. Ron is here, for those of you. Ron, could you just stand? So, there we are, Ron. Professor Emeritus and founder of CAPLA's Landscape Architecture program, also Associate Dean, Academic Affairs and Research, did many, many things during his years here. He's a very special colleague and friend of the college, and a dear colleague and friend of mine from our shared days at the University of Guelph in Canada, where he taught me site engineering and took us to London, England on the first semester abroad, and he can tell you the stories later. So Ron is in town this weekend celebrating his son's graduation from the College of Engineering, and we didn't want to miss this opportunity to invite him to help us celebrate our graduates here. So welcome, Ron, and thank you for joining us. Tonight, we also mark the long career of a cherished colleague and staff member who is retiring after 38 years, and walking over with this wonderful woman today tells me that it was 37 years with the college, and I believe it was 36 years doing that walk for convocation. So I invite Rob Miller, professor and director of the School of Architecture, to the podium, as he is the perfect person, really, to acknowledge the contributions of Sheila Blackburn.
When I became the Director of Architecture in 2010, I heard one and only one consistent observation about the school. You are so fortunate to have Sheila as your assistant. I know now why this was said. Not only has Sheila been a skilled, knowledgeable, and devoted administrative assistant, but she embodies our school's better nature. It is said, and it is true, that every great school of architecture has at its heart an administrative assistant who knows everything, gets along with everyone, and makes everything work. In my 9 years at the U of A, I've worked many 12-hour days. And given that Sheila has been perpetually at my side, staying as late or later than I, and often coming in on days when I don't, I shudder to think how many extra years she has given. And given happily and freely and without expectation of thanks or compensation. As much as I would like to flatter myself to think that Sheila's devotion is due to my incredible leadership or my inspirational nature, I'm not that vain. I'm but one of 10 administrators for whom she has been the chief counsel and essential right hand. Sheila has since 1981 been completely devoted to the good work and high aspirations of this school, not regulated by how much she liked us or how well she was treated, but simply because of who she is. I often tell visitors who Sheila ushers into my office that they've just met my boss. And they usually take this for a joke, but it's not. For 38 years, Sheila has run the School of Architecture. So I speak for the staff and the faculty and the alumni and the student body of the School of Architecture since 1981. Thank you, Sheila Blackburn, for making us great. All along, the greatness was yours.
Thank you, Sheila, for your incredible contribution to the college. I should also add that Sheila was on my search committee, so thank you very much, Sheila. This is a great job. And it's going to be really difficult to imagine the place without you, Sheila. And I've got here in the script, but I wrote this with great affection. And just to say, it won't be the same without your kind and watchful eyes, ensuring that every detail is perfect and all questions are answered. So thank you very much, Sheila. So at the conclusion of every academic year, our students are eligible for a number of awards based on their design and academic performances in their courses. I would like to now invite Associate Dean for Research and Academic Affairs and Professor of Practice of Architecture, Dr. Barbara Bryson, to the podium to announce the special awards associated with each of the programs.
It's been my honor to have watched you all go through this journey. Unlike my boss, a few of you have been in my office for the wrong reasons. Sorry, Mom and Dad and family. But they've all made it here. Thank goodness. Today, they take on challenges with enthusiasm and great creativity. And while in some respects, I'm sad to see them go, I'm very, very proud of them. I'm proud of who they have become, and I look forward to the contributions they will make in their professions. It is with great honor that I announce a few awards from each program at this time. Recipients, if you will please make your way to the stage to meet your program director and dean once your name is announced. Beginning with the Master of Architecture, will Associate Professor of Architecture and Master of Architecture Program Chair Chris Trumbull please join Dean Nancy Pollock Elwand center stage. The American Institute of Architects Henry Adams Medal and certificate is awarded to the top-ranking graduate in each architecture program accredited by the National Architecture Accrediting Board. The 2019 American Institute of Architects Henry Adams Medal and certificate for Master of Architecture is Afshan Benham. If you don't mind holding up just for a moment, Afshan. The Master of Architecture Prize is awarded to the master's project that most clearly integrates site, program, and structural logic with nuance and sophistication. Executed by a master's student who has demonstrated citizenship and high potential for a meaningful contribution to the practice of architecture, the 2019 Master of Architecture Prize Award recipient is Afshan Benham. You can sit down now. For the Master of Science in Architecture, will Professor of Architecture and Master of Science in Architecture Chair Nader Chalfoun please join Dean Pollock Elwand center stage. Master of Science in Architecture highest Scholastic Excellence Award is awarded for a combination of GPA and scholarly excellence in the Master of Science in Architecture program. The 2019 Master of Science in Architecture highest Scholastic Excellence Award recipient is Asil Barama. The Master of Science in Architecture Best Master's Thesis is awarded to the top thesis that most clearly demonstrates rigorous research, creative inquiry, and insightful application. The 2019 Master of Science in Architecture Best Master's Thesis Award recipient is Elias Albawa. Will Professor and School of Landscape Architecture and Planning Director Laurie McMillan Johnson please join Dean Polak Elwan center stage for the announcement of the Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Science in Planning, and Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Built Environments Awards. The Landscape Architecture Foundation's Olmsted Scholars Program recognizes and supports students with exceptional leadership potential who are using ideas, influence, communications, service, and leadership to advance sustainable design and foster human and societal benefits. Named for Frederick Law Olmsted, the father of American landscape architecture, the Olmsted Scholars Program is the premier national award program for landscape architecture students. Now in its 12th year, the program recognizes one outstanding student from each accredited landscape architecture program in the US and Canada. Students are both honored for past achievements and recognized for their future potential to influence the landscape architecture profession. The 2019 Landscape Architecture Foundation Olmsted Scholar is John Choi. The American Institute of Certified Planners Outstanding Student Award recognizes outstanding attainment in the study of planning by students graduating from Planning Accreditation Board accredited planning programs. Each respective planning program convenes a jury to make the award selection. The 2019 American Institute of Certified Planners Outstanding Student Award recipient is Monica Landgrave Serrano. Each Sustainable Built Environment student engages in a capstone project in their final academic year of their undergraduate career. It is the culmination of all of their knowledge, skills, and abilities that they have gained throughout their major coursework. At the conclusion of their project, each student presents their work and their findings in a competition with their peers. Judges bestow one award to the top project based on research merit and potential sustainability impact on the built environment. The Spring 2019 SBE Capstone Award winner is Gabriella Abizad. For the Bachelor of Architecture, will Professor and Director of the School of Architecture, Rob Miller, please join Dean Pollock Alwan center stage. The American Institute of Architects Henry Adams Medal and Certificate is awarded to the top-ranking undergraduate student in each architecture program accredited by the National Architecture Accrediting Board. The 2019 American Institute of Architects Henry Adams Medal and Certificate for the Bachelor of Architecture and Certificate for Bachelor of Architecture is Amal Anui. The Capstone Distinguished Projects and Capstone Studio Class Award is determined by a distinguished group of external reviewers. This award recognizes the best capstone work in the class based on significance, rigor, development, and design. Now I'm going to announce several capstone projects at once. If you'll hold your applause just for a moment, and you'll get plenty chance to recognize everyone. The 2019 Capstone Distinguished Projects include bronze medal, Andrew Osterholt from Hoffman Studio. Please come up. Bronze medal, Jeremy Goodwin from the Dickinson Studio. Silver medal, Amal Anui from the Doman Studio. And gold medal, Nan Liang from the Doman Studio. And while you are all standing there, I have one more announcement to make. There is one more overall capstone award that goes to Amal Anui. The William G. Ure Memorial Award is determined by a vote of peers and presented to that graduating student whose educational career and personal demeanor have reflected the attributes of courage, modesty, altruism, and honesty. the traits of its namesake. This year, there was a tie, so we'll be recognizing both recipients. The 2019 William G. Ure Memorial Award winners are Amal Anui and Daniel Badillo. Congratulations to each of you, to all of our award winners for your spectacular accomplishments. And now it's the time you've all been waiting for. It's my pleasure to invite to the podium Associate Professor Claire Robinson so she may proceed with the individual recognition of graduates by program. Master of Architecture students, if you could please begin to line up on the stairs to the left.
At this time, we'll take a moment to recognize our graduates individually. We'd like to recognize each student regardless of their attendance this evening, as we feel they are due this honor and respect. We'll begin by recognizing our Master of Architecture graduates. Associate Professor of Architecture and Master of Architecture Program Chair Chris Trumbull, please join Dean Nancy Pollock-Elwin center stage. Receiving both a Master of Architecture and a Master of Science in Architecture, Kifa Ali Aza. Ali Aza Rani. Receiving both a Master of Architecture and a Master of Science in Architecture, Asil Bar Arma. Afshan Baman. Oriana Andrea Cascarano. Alex Chavez. Anthony Kodziban. Elmira Kamyab. Chung Len. Soha Sabet. Master of Science in Architecture, Professor of Architecture and Master of Science in Architecture Chair Nader Shalfoun, please join Dean Pollock Elwin center stage. Elias Albawab. Dasbi Alaktam. Toktam Argingan. Isha Saeed Al-Kindi. Rachelle Hornby. Samira Yeshavan. Dominique Relay. Ryan Matthew Schindler. Master of Landscape Architecture, Professor and School of Landscape Architecture and Planning Director Lori McMillan Johnson, please join Dean Pollock Elwin center stage. Diane. Receiving both a Master of Landscape Architecture and a Graduate Certificate in Heritage Conservation, Cody Bonnet. Nicole K. Spear. Jonathan Choi. Deanna Albert. Aaron Johnson.
Sol Risa Cohen. Matthew Lutheran. Jennifer Moscato. Truk Wen. David Sanabria. So Young Song. Cody Ryan White. Master of Science in Planning, Anthony David Aceves. Receiving both a Master of Science in Planning and a Graduate Certificate in Real Estate Development Analysis, Mohamed Al-Barak. Holly Melissa Barton. Gentile Cargill. Receiving both a Master of Science in Planning and a Graduate Certificate in Heritage Conservation, Crystal Lynn Dillahunty. Receiving both a Master of Science in Planning and a Graduate Certificate in Heritage Conservation, Michael Catt. Monica Landgrave Serrano. Moises Lavonet. Anson Lehosset. Kyle Packer. Lauren Drew Shamus. Rachel Smith. Emma Thompson. Master of Real Estate Development, Cody Dalton. Yvette Othen Encinas. Carrie Ann Roshan. Steve Simitob. Zachary Stone. Graduate Certificate in Heritage Conservation, Paige Madison Nifke. Alexandra Wosipal. Graduate Certificate in Real Estate Development and Finance, Brian Bedoli. Moving on to the Bachelor of Architecture. Professor and Director of the School of Architecture, Rob Miller, please join Dean Pollock Elwin center stage. Amal Anui. Marcus Diaz Atson. Daniel Alejandro Badillo. Alonzo Carrillo. Alyssa Jean Cheney. Tyson Cordell Cheney. Sujin Cho. Zachariah Bung.
Oh yeah!
Nicholas Peter Giambanco. Jeremy Scott Goodman. Nan Liang. Rachel Noel Lowe. Devin Janae Michaelis. Birea Mongkong Wong Road. Madison Elizabeth Nepperud. Irina Sage Olson. Andrew James Osterhout. Ryan Allen Pesky. Zachary Lee Peters. Eric Ernst Reinhardt. Evan J. Robledo. Tyler Christian Ross. Jason Christopher Shirata. Jacob Benjamin Shara Daram. Benjamin Bailey Stewart. Brock Arthur Wilson. Thomas Yazzie. This name is out of order. Ming Wei Shi. Jia Yi Ye. Fei Yen. Zha Shun Zhang. Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Built Environment. Professor and School of Landscape Architecture and Planning Director Lori McMillan Johnson, please join Dean Pollock Elwin center stage. Gabriela Audrey Abuzad. Wyatt Berger. Lauren Alessandra Breckenridge. Claire Marie Bullock. Lindsay Callahan. Paul Camarena. Renee Celeste Colmenares. Aliyah J. Corneliuson. Shay Lynn Cutter. Quinton Francis Fitzpatrick. Alexandria Kathleen Freiberg Landon. Valeria Galindo. Alan Michael Ganuelas. Jack Andre Garcia. Sandy Jean Garrick. Jackson David Graff. Tyler James Holiday. Jacqueline Ariel Howell. Graham Roger John. Alec Stephen Kelly Jones. Timothy Dexter Kilpatrick. Tracy Lennon. David Joe Lopez. Emily Ann Lorenz. Madeline Sally Lyle. Amber Nicole Maggi. Moise Shilumba Makabu. Grace Kathleen McGuire. Iman Ali Monshezeli. Alyssa Moore. Georgia Faye Pennington. Jenny Lynn Rice. Michael Paul Roberta. Mariam Rani. Christian Omar Varin. Catherine Wong. Lucia Wong. Let's have a round of applause for all the CAPLA graduates.
So I was going to say, let's hear it one more time for all the graduates, but if you like. So the party will continue right after this. So just in closing this evening, I want to thank you all for your participation today, but also for your decision, all of you, to join the CAPLA family all those years ago. And as you lead and head to your next professional or academic home, I have two requests. The first one, please keep in touch. Tell us about the work you're engaged in and the great opportunities that will emerge undoubtedly for you We genuinely want to know all about what you're doing because you know what? We want to boast about you. And so we have to have the stories, you have to tell us all about it. And why this is so important that we can tell other students who are considering coming to CAPLA what a wonderful educational experience you had here and the family that you found here. Remember us fondly because this is the second one. You're our best ambassadors. Spread the word wherever you go. So graduates, this was not scripted, but I went to the convocation yesterday, which was fantastic, in the stadium last night. Who was there? Yeah. It was good because you made a lot of noise. I was very proud of you. It was wonderful. Graduates, now, if you haven't done it already, can you put your tassels to the left? So it's official now. Lastly to all, may I ask, as we close tonight, if you could remain seated until all of the graduates and the faculty have left the hall. So thank you for coming. It was really wonderful to be part of such a special moment in all of your lives. Good night.